There we go again. Oh, this one feels a bit of fish. Hello and welcome to the Amputee Angler, and we are indoors today. Still windy outside. Weather is finally easing up tomorrow after a week of big stormy weather. Loads of colour in the water at the minute, and all that sea foam up on the beach, crashing waves. You know the type I'm talking about. It's been like that for the last week now. Autumn and October weather is finally hit us middle of the month, and we're into the 1st of November today. So seasons they be changing. While it's wet and windy, I'm going to attempt to do some gear reviews for you and some rod and reel reviews as well. Make up some rigs, that sort of stuff, like we did with a conger rig the other day, if you haven't already seen it. Looks like I'm out at sea Wednesday. It's good to go tomorrow. Today's Monday, Tuesday's okay tomorrow. And I know a few of the guys are out tomorrow from Brighton Marina and certainly New Haven, no doubt. But I'm getting a dog tomorrow, so I shall be out Wednesday. And stay tuned, you'll see more of her when we get her used to the boat. And I've got a little bit of company going to sea for the days that I don't have people with me. So, awesome. Today we are reviewing the Okuma Helios SX 20-60 gram lure rod. And I've got a pair of these. I went over to these when I first started lure fishing from the shore again. I've been primarily a boat angler my entire life. I did a bit of shore fishing when I was younger. And I do like it, but having two legs missing, having to walk long venues, I can't get over the shingle beaches very well, or safely, should I say. And certainly I would love to go fishing at night on the big rocky reefs like some of the guys do, and where all the big bass lurk, but I just can't do it on my legs. It's just one of those things that I cannot do. There's not much I can't do, but traipsing over uneven, wet, slippery ground is neither safe or ideal, so I don't do it. That's why I've got a boat. But this lure rod here is the first rod I went to. I started off with a very budget Penn Rampage 2, I think it was. Bit of a broom handle of a lure rod. And I got to the point where I was happy with my lure fishing, caught some nice bass, but I wanted something a bit more responsive. And this was suggested to get one of these, and I haven't looked back since. It's about 100, 110 quid I think it cost me. I got mine from Amputee Angler. Jim down there, he sorted me out. Any local tackle shop will get it for you, and it is just a step up in rod. It's obviously, you can spend as much as you want on a lure rod. There's lure rods out there upwards of 5, 6, 7, 800 pounds, if not more. But this here for 100, 110 quid is absolutely ideal. Now it's rated, as I said earlier, it's 9 foot, which is 700 centimeters. Oh, I'm not even sure there. It's 9 foot, 2-piece, and it's a 20-60 gram. Now, a lot of lure fishermen will go up to about a 35 and will consider this heavy. Now, I don't. I've got a bit heavier for a reason, because I am a boat angler. This rod is absolutely perfect for a number of fishing scenarios. Not only do I use it for soft plastics, hard plastics, I fish from the shore, I fish from the boat. I also do light ledgering with it, so when I'm place fishing or doing some prawning maybe for bass and wrasse on the inshore reefs, I float fish with it. I go ledgering out on the wrecks, lure fishing out on the wrecks, light lure obviously, and it is absolutely brilliant for that. We've had cod, pollock, bass and wrasse and play stabs going, you name it, we've had it on this, and it handles it absolutely brilliantly. It's got a really good bend in it, it's sensitive, and it's got a lovely through action, and I just simply can't fault it for the money. Now, you can have a rod for all occasions, and I know people that do that, and they say lures catch anglers more than they do fish. Rods do the same in some things, and reels. You can have a rod for soft plastics, a rod for hard plastics, a light ledgering rod, a light lure rod, heavy lure. You can go crazy as you want. But when I'm boat fishing, I tend to have like a rod that can do multiple things. So if on a whim I want to change my fishing style, I can just change over and not have to worry about, have I got the right rod, have I got the right reel? And this is perfect for that. I have a pair of them. I combine them with a Penn Battle 2, soon to be a Penn Battle 3. These are absolutely brilliant reels as well. If you're thinking about getting a nice reel to go with this, a Penn Battle 3 or a 2 if you want to get the older style, they're absolutely perfect. I think this is a 4000, not 100% sure, I'll have a look on there for you. I think it's a 4000. But yeah, it's an absolutely lovely reel to pair off of it. The first time I cast a lure with this, going from my Rampage 2, it was a culture shock. I had nanofeel on the reel at the time. I've gone back to braid now, for those of you that fish nanofeel, which most of the serious bass fishermen do fish nanofeel. It's a really hard lay, and it's got it's really stiff. You can straighten it out and it will stay there when you let go of it. It's a really stiff line, and it don't half whip a lure out. But it's also really good for sensitivity, which is why a lot of the lure fishermen like it, because it does increase the sensitivity. The reason I went back to J-braid, Daiwa J8, is I found that the nanofeel, just where I was fishing wrecks and heavy reefs and stuff like that, you'd constantly get a little nicks on it, and you have to strip back sort of 6-8 foot every time you get a little nick, and you can do that 2 or 3 times in a session sometimes. And I just found, for the price it was costing, not that money's an issue so much, but it was just, it broke my heart having to keep stripping it back. Now I know you have to do that with braid, but the Daiwa J8, I've just found it much more easier to tie knots with, and also it's got a bit of resistance to it. But going back to the rod, 2060, it does me for multiple uses. Like I said, I've had some nice fish on it this year, and I'm reviewing all my gear at the minute. Now, when it comes into winter, I'll strip all my gear back, see what's worked, what didn't work, and I'll see what I'm going into next year with. The eyes on it, you see my little lure clip there at the minute. I fish a length of fluoro on mine if I'm fishing inshore. I'll put 3 or 4 fluoro on. The eyes on it are absolutely lovely, lovely ceramic eyes. No damage with them all year. They've taken a bit of a beating, and they're still in one piece. And I just can't fault it. So if you are looking to upgrade, Okuma Helios 2060, absolutely brilliant. They do other sizes, other lengths, but for an upgrade on a standard budget rod to something slightly more professional is probably the wrong word, but slightly more you know, decent, you can't go wrong with this. And I'll be keeping these into next year. So that's my rod review of Okuma Helios SX 2060. Any questions about it, obviously feel free just to drop a comment. Like and subscribe as well, please, guys. I've got some rig making videos coming up as well. And I'm going to do another rod review coming up as well for the ugly stick boat rod that I've got, 2030. But for now, we'll be out on Wednesday, hopefully, and I'm deciding what to do. 6.7 metre tide, but it might well be a bit of ground fishing with a bit of bait and some small hooks. But we shall see. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all soon.